20 years old and I live in Villach, Austria. I'm from Hungary, Budapest. I lived in a suburb part of the city with my family. I'm currently studying intercultural management in English at the University of Applied Sciences in Villach.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Schweighöfer, I'm 25 years old and I'm originally from Weiz in Styria, that's about 20 minutes ago from Graz, where I also moved to because of university reasons, where I shared my apartment with two friends of mine. But when the pandemic, the COVID thing began, I again moved home because of financial reasons. I just didn't want to spend any money on rent because during that time I was always with my mom and my grandparents in Weiz. So since then I live with them again. I'm currently studying psychology. I'm doing my master's degree and finished my bachelor's degree in psychology and chemistry about 1.5 to 2 years ago.
Hello, I am Foram Gohel from India. I am a first year student studying intercultural management at Carintha University of Applied Sciences in Villach, Austria.
I would say a border is a line separating two political or geographical areas, but nowadays we know that cultures are not synonymous with countries and cultures do not respect political boundaries. That's my opinion. In most cases, I was satisfied and I felt comfortable and confident when we passed the border within the European Union. However, during the COVID crisis, I had a bad experience crossing the border from Austria to Hungary. So a couple of days before Christmas, we wanted to cross the border with my relatives who have a 1-year-old child. By the time when we got there, it was already 9 p.m., so dark and cold outside. At the border, the Hungarian police officer didn't let us go through, even though all the passports were available and of course we had a negative COVID test. Furthermore, it would not have been a problem for us to stay for 10 days in quarantine in Budapest. We didn't understand his decision. We were in a little panic how we will get home, of course. And moreover, the police officer witnessed that a 1-year-old child sat in the car, and we Hungarians, we have a right to cross our borders. Unfortunately, we had to go through 3 different border stations. But finally, at the third one, an Austrian police officer understood our circumstances, so he let us through. But he was an Austrian police officer. I realized that it affects me a lot. If I consider my family, emotions, homesick, friends, especially because it's a shame that nowadays a lot of border guards just like these at the Hungarian-Austrian border just abuse their power and thereby make us citizens insecure when we want to go home or abroad. Following this, now that border controls are more strict than ever before due to the COVID situation, I sometimes fear that I cannot visit my family as often as I wish to.
I initially planned to move to Germany for about a year, the first year of my master's degree. That would be the winter semester 2020 and the summer semester 21. But after at the university we analyzed the current state of the pandemic in March 2020 and simulated also the how the pandemic would go. I pretty much dismissed all my plans. Especially because I had a lung operation when I was a child. I was 9 years old, and in that operation they removed a third of my lung, so I'm at the very high risk group should I get sick. So over the whole pandemic, I had to completely self-isolate myself and only have personal contact with the people I lived with. For example, my two friends or my mom and grandparents. Nowadays, it's possible again, I would say, due to constant testing, cheap tests or free self-tests, and maybe the vaccine will change something too there. But also the self-isolation part wasn't too bad for me, because I could connect with friends via the internet and play online video games or just chill and talk. So I feel like the whole self-isolation thing didn't hit me as hard as others you see on constantly complaining on social media and other stuff. Yeah, I guess that's my experiences.
It is a bit ironic to comment on a particular border that I have not witnessed physically, because for me, borders have to have a physical characteristic. But with the virtual world we live in and studying remotely, I have a new perspective on borders, and particularly with the virtual border. From what I can remember, few months before my university was to commence, I started feeling anxious about the uncertainties of getting my visa and reaching Austria just in time for my bachelor's. Everything had fundamentally changed since the pandemic last year. The university was very supportive and I started studying remotely from India. At first, I felt fine, but as days and weeks passed by, I felt I was missing on a lot of things that university students do. I felt that I was not living the university life where I could be on campus, hang out with my friends after lectures, or do projects with them and not do them virtually, or just the fact that I could live independently in a dorm room. Being born in a secular country and having witnessed religious boundaries and the impact it has on people is very powerful and daunting at times. I'm not sure if I've had any positive experience with borders, because whenever I approach a border, there's always this tension and fear built inside me.